Alright, here I'm going to make this video here about the fourth letter of the alphabet in the Kabbalah, which is Dath, or what we know as Delta from Greek, which is change or the change. Kabbalah, if you study the Kabbalah, it opens up a lot of different aspects. So if you've done any other studies, so say you've read some of the Egyptian books or some of the other spiritual books that are out there, the Apocryphal and some of the other stories. It's funny how when you get into the Kabbalah, it's really an eye-opener. So I wanted to share this. This is the Sephirah, which is also the tree of life. In their teachings, the Dath is the upper Eden. Yesod is the lower Eden, the foundation. All right? Eden to them in their teachings is a state of consciousness. So to get to Eden is not something external, or what you want to call heaven even, for that matter. This is all state of consciousness. This is all a perception. So you have to start changing your perception within. So all the work is within, because the D in the Dath, which is a doorway in theirs, every door is twofold. You can go in or out. So you want to go in, because their tree of knowledge, which they're good at evil, it has nothing to do with anything, except for what they talk about when they come with evil. All they mean by that is impure. And their purity means their body, their mind, and their soul. All right? So I just wanted to show this to you, and how ignorant, if you break it down, is in, which is not. This is through the Kabbalah teachings. And naris, which is knowing, so not knowing. So it doesn't mean you're stupid, all right? No one's stupid. Some people are just ignorant, and to me, I don't even like to use this one. If I would actually say ignorant about something, I'm usually meaning they're just ignoring the truth. And what I mean by that is I did the same thing. I didn't, make a long story short, when I started getting into all this yoga practices, spiritual practices, esoteric knowledge, all that kind of stuff, it was, I would have acted and judged people just like how others are doing now. When people meditate and they've done it for longer periods of time, they understand what's going on. It's totally different to me. I know what they're doing now. So before, if I would have saw somebody meditating, I'd be like, what's that guy just sitting there, close his eyes for? Because there's more to it than that, okay? Because meditation is not just closing your eyes, okay? So that I just want to say. So the knowledge in the Kabbalah, which is the Dath, this Dath word is the knowledge, is the doorway, is not physical knowledge. So what are they implying? They're implying the inside. This is inside knowing. Inside knowing raises consciousness, raises your actual, what we would call true intelligence. Because true intelligence to me is knowing, not the word intelligent. So I wanted to share this because, all we hear anymore is the delta, which comes from the Greek, which is change or the change in theirs. It's actually, if you look it up by etymology, because I love studying linguistics, it's Daleth, it's a Phoenician word, which means tent door. Once again, door, tent. Tent would be the triangle. Change, the door. I'm just implying, I'm just opening myself up to you guys to share with you that we're not truly aware of the awareness of the actual reality we live in. The more you look into spiritual books, the more you read those, you start seeing synchronicities. This is one of the forms of abundance for me. It's huge for me. I get synchronicities all the time. And you start to see it, and it starts to unfold. Okay? So I just wanted to show you that the Kabbalah, their Eden is a state of consciousness. This is their tree of knowledge. It does have more. I can go through the Sephirah if you want me to, and go through each part of it if you want me to. I'm not into the Kabbalah practices. I do think they're very interesting, because in the Kabbalah practices they do pranayama, which is one of my practices I use in yoga, which is breathing through the left nostril, out the right. This is the Ida Pingala. I can go in more detail. So hit a like if you like this. I can give you more. You want to shoot out something. If I don't know the answer, I'm going to honestly tell you, but I'm sure I could figure it out. This is where it all started for me, was in linguistics. I got into languages. I started looking at languages big time. I started with German, started studying all German languages. I started studying Welsh, I started studying French, I started studying, just on and on and on and on and on and on it went. So you can get a lot of that. And this is where everything is just a frequency and a vibration. To change reality, to say the reality you want to have, truly, has to come within. It's not going to come from materialist things. I'm sorry, it's just not. You can chase after that all they want, because then they're talk about knowledge. This knowledge is not materials. It's not even books. It's not nothing. This is inner knowledge, to know the inner truths of self, which is you and everyone, because everyone's connected. Everyone is a part of me. I'm a part of everyone. A simple way, I've shared this before with others, how I can say this in the external world. If I physically look into someone's eyes, physically look and stare in someone's eyes, the only thing I'm going to actually see is my own reflection. Subconsciously, what does that tell me? That they're a reflection of me. Whether good, bad, or whatever is irrelevant. Because once I said evil has to do, or bad has to do with just maybe they weren't loved enough. Maybe they didn't get that love, because love is spiritual. Love is the spiritual aspect. Love is. The breathing is the soul aspect. To get your body moving, to get soul. This is what yoga is for. This is why it's always movement. All right? Because if you get to a state of meditation, in a state of, people want to call nirvana, ecstasy, whatever, blissfulness, whatever, the creation itself, or the what we would call, it's not moving. The only thing moving is us. So this is why you got to keep moving. This is why working out is good. See, I'm not here to push any beliefs on anybody. I don't want beliefs. I don't want anything to hinder me from hinder, which is behind. I want to go forward. So I don't want to push anything onto anybody. I'm just going to openly share, and it does get emotional for me at times, because I see a lot of suffering, and a lot of it has to do with, I know, because for myself, come this December, if I stay my way I'm going about myself, then I will be not sick for 7 years. That's not even a cold, not even a cough, nothing. The start for me, though, was water. Okay? The next, clean water. The next thing was, which I've talked in other videos, which you can check my other videos, is food. I stopped eating meat. So this was a process. I didn't do all this overnight. So try taking steps, all right? Like steps. Like think about it. It's no different than like going to an alcohol rehab program or a drug rehab program. It's always taking steps, all right? So it's nothing they expect you to do the next day. Now, some can do this. Some can quit cold, all right? Now, there was certain aspects of my life I could actually manage like that. And then there were some aspects I could not. So I had to take steps. I had to keep working on it and keep working on it and keep trying to raise my vibration as much as possible, because the higher the vibration I get, the more different types of actual involvement in this reality, the more I am involved in, because everything is on frequency. All right? This is truthful. My truths. If you do the practice and you do the work, you will find out these truths yourself, because it's all a self. But it's still the collective, not separate. The only way we can explain anything in 3D world seems to be through division, because the mind does not divide. The mind only multiplies and adds. The easy way to explain this is if you ever started meditation or try to even do meditation, you know, it's always clear the mind, right? But if you're thinking about clearing the mind never clears. See, it keeps adding and multiplying. You're just going to get more of it. For instance, if you heard teachers, which I'm sure you've heard teachers, I'll give one example. Sarah Guru says, I'll tell you not to think about monkeys for the next 10 seconds. I'll tell you not to think about monkeys for the next 10 seconds. And I bet you'll think about monkeys for the next 10 seconds. Because the mind adds and multiplies. Only thing that's dividing right now is this external place. This is division. There actually is none. Within self, there's actually no division. We're creating ourselves through programming, through how we were raised. And I'm not blaming anybody, because if anybody's going to blame, I can always blame myself, because I'm a part of this. This is why this knowledge has to come forth. This is the opening of the veil. This is the time for all this. This is why everything is going the way it's going. So either you're going in the doorway, which is in south, or you're going out. I mean, that's your choice. I prefer to go in. I'm more comfortable within myself. I can handle things a lot more within myself. This handled a lot of things for me. Whether it was anger, whether it was habituation, whether it was compulsiveness, any of those types of things, this is where this helped me. I want to share this because this is what it is. And I'm going to share more because, I mean, when I got into this, I felt like I was behind. I did. I really did. I actually felt like, okay, I'm behind. I need to catch up to some of these other people that know this knowledge and have this higher awareness and higher consciousness. When now I feel like maybe some of them need to catch up to me, because some of the stuff that they're putting out there, anything that has to do with this word or the division word, I stay away from. So this is like saying this yoga is better than that yoga, this spiritual practice is better than that spiritual practice. No, I've tried them. I've tried, if you watch my other videos, I've tried Qigong first. And like I said, if people comment and people write and people say something, my email's evolveinnerself@gmail.com, which I guess I can put it up here. So this is the Kabbalah. I guess I'm going to take out the Zob Valley and the Kali cultures for now, which is very interesting cultures, because in those cultures you find a lot of women emblems, a lot of the divine feminine. There was enough for everybody's household. So third millennium, the Zob Valley cultures and the Kali, if you start studying some of the indigenous tribes, which I can go into some of those as well that I've studied. Doesn't mean I know everything. Trust me, I don't. Because the more I learn, it's like shit. There's shit, shift, the shit word. There's more for me to expand. But my email is this. You're more welcome to email me anytime. Depending on your questions and depending on how you're conducting yourself, will I respond. So if you're gonna slam me for something, or you're gonna do any of this bias or division, I won't even open the email. I'll just delete you. So that's my email. You can email me. You can ask me more about this. But once again, it's the Kabbalah of words, the fourth letter in the alphabet, the D. This is why the D is important. The more you study the Kabbalah, you find out how the D associates. It's also the number 4. Associates with all the different corresponding letters of the actual alphabet, the Hebrew alphabet, which is 22 letters. 4 in total as well. Funny, because the 4 is a doorway. So you can go in or out. So it's about gnosis, it's about knowledge. Inner knowledge. This is not, I've read tons and tons of books, and there's maybe there's one book I could probably say that has a lot of information in it, compiled together, but still doesn't have all of it. So there's no actual book I can say, so I can't say the Bible. I'm not saying the Bible can't teach you anything, it can. But I'm just saying, you also, if you're gonna study the Bible, then you might want to check out the Bible written in Hebrew. Might want to check out some of the Kabbalah. You might want to check out some of the Egyptian books. You might want to check out some of the Sanskrit books, some of the Vedic knowledge, whether it's the Bhagavad Gita or the Rig Veda or any of those types of knowledge. And I'm sorry I haven't made my Ayurvedic, because that's the stuff I fall behind for my health. But like I said, I haven't been sick in 7 years, and this was not something I did overnight. This was a process for me. This was not something, the spiritual practices did actually come first before any of those other changes I made first, so they actually do help a lot. They helped me a lot. I'm only giving my personal experience. I'm not telling anybody how they would have to do it. This is not what I'm trying to get at. Everybody is unique, and everybody can find their way within themselves. Trust me, you can. Don't get discouraged. The more you work on this, the more stuff to let go. This is why, like I said, the mind wants to add and multiply. It does not divide. Divisional is external. Okay, what we deal with on a day-to-day life. How they promote, whether it's sports teams, this team against that team. If you want to get caught up in that, you can go right ahead. I'm not saying you can't go play sports. That's not what I'm saying. But I'm just saying, if you want to get caught into that type of reality, then that's the reality you will live. And that's fine, because everybody has their own choice. That's not mine. Mine is coherence. The coherence of my body, my mind, and my soul, to be united as one. And then united as one as the collective, as the whole, as the many. Because if you can't see God in everyone, then you can't see God at all. If you only want to use that word, I don't even like using that word. Because if you study that, God, it brings up a whole different balls of wax. And all different balls of silliness and nonsense. Because it's you. Alright? Technically, we're all gods. And I don't mean take that as an ego, because ego we're not taught. Ego is actually a tool. We've created ego as a separate identity. And then by doing that, we feed that identity. Because we need to have certain things. whether it's materialistic things, whether it's a house, a car, or whatever, and then we're attached to those things. I share my things. I don't own anything. Really, I do not. All right? And anybody wants to work with me, they can more than well come over. They can use anything that I have. I'm not going to say, oh, that's mine, because then I'm already lost. All right? This is the knowledge and why I teach it. And this is why I spread it, and I'm going to continue to keep spreading it, because this is what we need to realize. It's the Delta variant. Get what I'm implying? It's a doorway. It goes twofold. All right? So you can go in or you can go out. All right? I choose in. All right? In is the way. Trust me. You want out? You go in. You'll find this by Rumi. You'll find this by Celery Guru. You'll find this inner engineering. You'll find this by so many others I can mention. There's so many names I can mention that have been teaching this now and what it truly meant. But we didn't put ourselves to that because we're built an ego, and then we built to judge. I'm non-judgmental. I don't, and this is still hard for me. I'm not saying I'm perfect at this. I'm not. This is still work I'm doing. But I wanted you to know that the D, there's a significance in this symbolism. All right? And if you study linguistics, you'll see symbolism is key, because this is how they're projecting this reality upon us all. All right? That we don't need to be a part of. All right? That's why I'm not into peace or Jupiter or Saturn. All right? I'm into all. Okay? Peace is a part, not a whole. I'm a whole. I'm a whole. I'm connected to everything. Everything's a part of me. I'm a part of everything. So this is my email. If you want to keep me going, I do appreciate if you guys want to buy a sticker, buy some of my t-shirts. Om Namah Shiva, it's a particular mantra. I'm going to do a mantra video next. I wanted to show you this. I can do more of the Kabbalah. Anybody can do this work themselves. You don't have to wait for me. And sometimes maybe it's not better off to wait for me, because I'm still trying to raise my consciousness as high as possible as I can. Working on myself, health, body, and mind. All right. So in the next video, I will get on the Ayurvedic so I can share you that knowledge. There is tons of it already online, so you can find it yourself, but I will share it. And then how I go about using it. That's all I can do, is share my experience and share how I've been using things. So once again, I started with spiritual practices. I started with Qijan, which I spelled wrong last time I had this. So I'm going to correct this now. Not that it really matters, but so people know. Qijan, all right? That's why I started, all right? I did those spiritual practices first. Then I went into Toltec, and now I do Kundalini Yoga. The reason I do Kundalini Yoga, it works on different aspects. It works on the body, it works on the mind, and it works on the soul, okay? So it works on the three things, right? And then you have the fourth, spirit, because there's spirit, soul, mind, body. So there are actually four. Once again, four. I don't believe in coincidences, okay? So wholeness and balance to everybody. Give this a thumbs up. Hit subscribe. I plan on making more videos. I know I've said that before, but I really am this time, because I have accumulated quite a bit of knowledge from my own experience that I can now start to share, and then hopefully this will get people to start doing their thing. So I'm not here to push anything on anybody. If you like linguistics, then go ahead. You'll find out a lot of knowledge in linguistics. There's a lot of synchronicities in it. All languages are loomed together. They all come from one. There actually is a root language that only can be accessed through spiritual evolution. So we only can gather as much as we can from the external as possible. So you can study all the languages all you want, but you're still going to be missing the roots to it all. So you can actually connect with every single actual human being that's here, and you can be able to talk to them, because I love talking to people, whether they're from Polish, whether they're from Mexico, whether they're from France, whether they're from Germany, whether, this is what it is. I know they're all part of me, so it's fascinating. To me, it's just fascinating. This life is brilliant. It is brilliant, and we've lost the brilliancy. We've lost the light. All right, this is where the light and the darkness comes into play. All right, don't overthink that though, because out of darkness comes light. So don't get into this bad and good thing, because that's a divisional thing. Like I said, the mind will not do this thing. And here I'm pointing my head, which is wrong, is a mistake. because mind is whole body. All right, and why I can tell you this, think about memory. People think memory is held here, like in a brain, right? No. Memory is held in every cell of your body. How can I easily explain this? Look at your ancestors' pictures. You're going to pick out your ears. You're going to pick out your nose. So that's not transferred through the mind. That's transferred through the body. It's every cell, because one cell from the woman, one cell from the man makes this whole creation. Then we're just, like everybody teaches, you are what you eat. We're heaps of food. So this is why you have to be mindful of what you eat. It's not that you can't eat these things, you can't do these things, you do whatever you want. Have at it. But if you really want to really feel the feelness of always blissfulness or feeling great within self, this is the path. I don't know any other path. I've tried all the different paths. I've tried external things. I've tried drinking. I've tried drugs. That's why I can share these things. I've lost teeth because of it. It's not the path. It's not the right path for me. So, people can choose whatever path they want. And the right word is one you might want to look up to, too. Because what we think is right, R-I-T-E, not R-I-G-H-T, okay? That's a right and left. That's talking about, dimensions, or not dimensions, I should say, talking about measurements. Okay? So, once again, this is Daith, the Kabbalah word. It comes from the Phoenician Daleth, which is tent door, which is also Arabic for doll. All the same. So, look into the languages, and you'll start to pull out a lot of different things. Wholeness and balance to everybody. And like I said, I'll keep more if you guys want. My actual webpage is Love Inner Self. Sorry, that marker is gone. That can be thrown away. It's Love Inner Self. Yoga.com. I make t-shirts. I'm making sports bras, leggings. Now I make hats, which came out really fantastic. It's embroidered with the Om symbol. If you don't know what that means, you can look it up. I can go through it too if you want. If you guys want me to, like I said, give you my email. You can contact me. But here it is. All right, wholeness and balance.